The man went to Baldur's Gate, and there followed his date. Or wait, did she wait? So the man... Okay. You can still sing. To my dwelling wall. Shit. Maybe I should stick to the rogue. Welcome back for another class guide video. In today's video, we're going to talk about an interesting class, a musical class. A class for those of you who couldn't stop singing Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, the Bard. If you like the idea of changing the world for better or worse through various arts such as music and poetry, then this may be the class for you. We're going to talk about the Bard's class features, what racial choices go well with the Bard's spellcasting and spells, and of course the 2 confirmed subclasses, so you're going to want to stick around for the entire video. As always, keep in mind that the final version of the Baldur's Gate 3 Bard may be modified from what we talk about, but I think it's safe to assume that this video will give you a solid foundation for what to expect for this class. If you guys end up enjoying this video, please subscribe, for there will be much more Baldur's Gate 3 content on the way. I've already done the Druid, Rogue, Paladin, and Sorcerer class guides, so make sure to check those out if you're interested. Let's talk about the Bard. In the world of Baldur's Gate 3, words and music are not just vibrations of air, but vocalizations with power all their own. The Bard is a master of song, speech, and the magic they contain. Whether a scholar, skald, or scoundrel, as a Bard you will weave magic through words and music to inspire allies, demoralize foes, manipulate minds, create illusions, and heal wounds. The Bard's greatest strength is perhaps their versatility, for they can be good in pretty much all areas of the game, and really good at that, whether social, combat, or exploration. Very few classes can match the Bard's ability to excel at almost any task, making them an extremely interesting and unique class. The Bard in the hands of an experienced player, or player who is willing to learn, study, and practice their abilities, can really be one of the most influential members of the party. You can be so many things with this class: a warrior poet, an acrobatic thief, a traveling musician, a storyteller, an investigator, and the list goes on. Many Bards will stick more to the sidelines, inspiring their allies and hindering their foes from a distance. But don't underestimate their capabilities for defending themselves in melee, for they can bolster their swords and armor as well. It's really up to you to decide what role you want your Bard to take in a party. Maybe you want to focus more on support, or damage, or control, or maybe a mix of them all. Bards will also typically be the face of your party, for their social skills and abilities to turn social situations in their favor is basically unmatched. Before we go over which races go best with the Bard, let's first quickly go over what ability scores you might want to focus on to get the most out of your class. As with all spellcasters, your primary focus should be on your spellcasting ability, which for the Bard is Charisma. Charisma should be your #1 focused on ability score, for it will not only help you with spellcasting, but also really play into the strong social skills that you will have. Dexterity is oftentimes one of the top ability scores as well that you'll focus on, for most Bards use ranged weapons or finesse weapons and light armor, and a high dexterity ability score will help with all of that. Constitution is also usually one of the top choices, for not only does it help with your HP, it also helps your Bard hold their concentration for spells that require that. Wisdom and intelligence will really depend on how you want to play your character, but you usually should have a decent score in at least one of those. Strength is commonly a dump stat unless you really have plans on using heavier, larger weapons and wearing heavier armor. The half-elf is the first, most obvious, and definitely solid choice for your Bard. As a half-elf, you gain that +2 to Charisma, but also 2 other ability scores of your choice you will increase by 1 each. A great way to start the game with the ability scores that you want. You also get some other great racial features from the half-elf, one of which is not shown in the picture, but should be in the game, and that is the skill versatility, which lets you gain proficiency in 2 skills of your choice. Tieflings are a popular choice for your bard, for they also get that +2 to charisma and a +1 to intelligence. There will be some sub-race choices for the Tiefling, so keep that in mind if you do plan on playing as this race. Halflings can be a good choice, for you get +2 to your dexterity, and if you choose the sub-race of the halflings called the Lightfoot Halfling, you will also get that needed charisma boost. As I always say, there's ways to make many different races work well, so don't feel like you have to play one of the races that I mentioned. We also don't know all of the races that will be available in Baldur's Gate 3 yet, so there very well may be some other great choices for your bard. Now let's go over the bard's class features, and then we can get into the fun stuff like spellcasting and your choice of subclass. As a bard, you will have hit dice of 1d8. You will start the game at level 1 with 8 HP, and if you use the roll system, you will roll one 8-sided die each level you gain and add the results to your current HP. If you use the fixed HP system, you will add 5 HP per level increase. Don't forget that your Constitution modifier will always be added to your base HP as well. You will be proficient in light armor, and for weapons you will be proficient in simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. Don't forget that your racial choice may grant you more weapon proficiencies as well. For tools, you'll be proficient in 3 musical instruments of your choice. Depending on how in-depth Larian Studios gets with instruments, this may play a large role in your bard's playthrough. Being proficient in certain instruments will help with ability checks that involve things such as performance. For saving throws, you will have proficiency in dexterity and charisma. Dexterity saving throws can help with things such as dodging traps, and charisma saving throws help with saving you from being banished and things of such nature. For skills, you will be able to choose any 3 skills in the game, no limits like the other classes have, a very cool feature for the bard. And if you end up choosing half-elf as your racial choice, you will have 2 more skills to gain proficiency in right away, and your background choice will give you 2 more as well, giving you a total of 7 skills of your choice at the start of the game. That's absolutely insane, and it can increase even more than that, which we will talk about later in the video. The bard can be good at a lot of things. Alright, now we can get right into the bard's spellcasting, which you will gain right away at level 1. As I stated before, charisma will be your bard's spellcasting ability, for your charisma modifier will play a role in your spell save DC and your spell attack modifier. Let's take a look at the bard's class chart. If we look to the right, you will start off knowing 2 cantrips, which cantrips are spells that can be cast at will and require no spell slots, and you also have 4 spells known. So bards do not use prepared spells like classes such as the druid does. When you choose your spells as a bard, those will be the spells you have each day. You do not have to prepare them. Like I said, you will know 4 of them at level 1, and each level you will gain more, bringing you to 14 known spells at max level 10. Also, as you can see, the amount and level of spell slots you have available to use increases on your journey to level 10. At level 1 as a bard, you will only have 2 level 1 spell slots, and when you reach level 10, you will end up having 4 level 1 slots, 3 level 2, 3 level 3, 3 level 4, and 2 level 5 spell slots. So the highest level spells you'll be able to get are level 5 spells, at least on the launch of the game. The spells that you will be choosing will be from the bard's spell list. We do not know yet if all of these spells will be in the game, but I would assume that a good amount of them will be. The list is quite long, as you can see, so feel free to pause the screen right now if you want to read them all, for we're only going to go over a few of them, starting with a cantrip. Vicious Mockery is a popular and funny cantrip to choose as a bard. You will unleash a string of insults laced with subtle enchantments at a creature, which can deal damage and also cause a target to have disadvantage on the next attack roll. These vocal type spells, depending on how Larian voices them and animates them, could really be a lot of fun to do in a video game. As far as damage type spells go, you can choose spells such as Thunder Wave, which makes a wave of thunderous force sweep out from you, dealing damage and pushing enemies away. I think we might have actually seen this spell done by a wizard in the recent Larian Studios 40-second video clip. Shatter will create a sudden loud ringing noise from a point of your choice, dealing thunder damage. Dissonant Whispers is a spell where you can whisper a discordant melody that one creature will be able to hear, causing them intense pain in the form of psychic damage, and it also makes the creature use their reaction to move away from you, which can trigger your allies to get some opportunity strikes on the creature, dealing even more damage. Now onto some more support-focused spells. Dispel Magic can end spells on one creature, saving or relieving them from whatever spell that may be. Fairy Fire can give your party members advantage on their attack rolls, and it can also outline invisible enemies that might be around. Now on to some control type spells. Sleep will send a creature into a magical slumber. Hold Person will cause a humanoid target to become paralyzed until they succeed on a wisdom saving throw. You will also likely be able to get Hold Monster at higher levels, which does the same thing but for monsters. Hideous Laughter will make a creature perceive everything as hilariously funny and fall into fits of laughter. If successful, this will make your target fall prone, becoming incapacitated. You can actually even deal damage to a creature affected by this, but if you do, the creature will receive advantage on their saving throws, giving them a better chance of coming out of this funny state. Really fun sounding spell. Hypnotic Pattern will create twisting patterns of colors that can charm multiple creatures, making them incapacitated and have a speed of 0. The Bard really has a lot of great control type spells. And lastly, here are some utility based spells such as Silent Image, which creates the image of an object, creature, or other visible phenomenon, and although this image can do no harm, it can certainly cause distractions and confusion on the battlefield. Invisibility is a spell where a creature you touch becomes invisible, and at higher levels, if you use higher level spell slots, you can actually do this to 2 creatures at once. Polymorph is another good utility spell which transforms a creature into a new form, that of some type of beast. There's also a good amount of more social based utility spells that the Bard can obtain. The spells that you will be choosing will be from the Bard's spell list. We do not know yet if all of these spells will be in the game, but I would assume that a good amount of them will be. Back to the class chart, at level 1 as a Bard you will gain the popular Bardic Inspiration. Bardic Inspiration will allow you to use a bonus action on your turn to choose one creature other than yourself to hear your music or poetry, which will give them one of your limited amount of Bardic Inspiration die, which is a D6. This creature will now be able to use that D6 and add the number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw that it makes. This does not have to be used right away by the creature you're giving Bardic Inspiration to. After a creature, which will probably be your party member, uses it once, it is lost after that. This really is a powerful thing to give a party member of yours, for when they feel they really need to succeed on something, your inspiration die will certainly help them. At Bard class level 2, you will get Jack of all trades, which will allow you to add half your proficiency bonus, rounded down, to any ability check you make that doesn't already include your proficiency bonus. This basically makes the Bard good at everything, a Jack of all trades. So even if you do not have proficiency in a certain skill, and you have to do an ability check dealing with that skill, your Bard will still get to add a proficiency bonus to that skill, just not as high of a bonus as the skills you're actually proficient in. Pretty sweet and helpful. Also at level 2, you will get Song of Rest. Song of Rest is where you will use soothing music or oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest, which in Baldur's Gate 3 is the time in between combat encounters. If you or allies spend hit dice to regain HP, they will also get an extra 1d6 to add on to that. This will increase to a 1d8 at class level 9. This is a feature that may be modified in Baldur's Gate 3, depending on how they really go about short rest healing and stuff like that. We finally made it to class level 3, which is where we get to choose our Bard's College. 2 of them have been confirmed to be in the game, the College of Lore and the College of Valor. There may be more than just those 2, but those 2 are guaranteed. The College of Lore. If you join this college, you're basically a bard who knows something about most things. You enjoy gathering with other college members, sharing lore with one another. Your knowledge comes from a variety of places, from scholarly tomes to peasant tales you have heard. At class level 3 as a College of Lore Bard, you gain bonus proficiencies. This lets you gain proficiency in 3 more skills of your choice. This is just really crazy, guys, especially if you're playing as a half-elf, for you can have up to 10 skill proficiencies at this stage of the game. Not to mention you have Jack of all trades, so the other skills that you're not proficient in, you're still better than most at. Super useful and very powerful. Having a College of Lore Bard in your party can help in a lot of situations. Also at class level 3 you get Cutting Words, which gives you another option for using your Bardic Inspiration die. If you choose to use Cutting Words, it will be a reaction and will give a creature of your choice the Bardic Inspiration die, which is a d6, but instead of helping that creature like before, this creature has to subtract the number rolled from an ability check, attack roll, or damage roll. Pretty cool to be able to reverse that die to negatively impact a creature. The last feature you will gain as a College of Lore Bard is at class level 6, and it's called Additional Magical Secrets. This will let you learn 2 spells of your choice from any class. You don't have to choose from the Bard spell list. The Bard is such a unique and cool class and really can just do so much. The chosen spells do not count against your total amount of spells known allowed as a Bard. These are extra spells. These spells, however, must be of a level that you can cast. The College of Valor. The College of Valor Bard is a little more combat oriented. These bards are daring skalds whose tales keep alive the memory of the great heroes of the past, inspiring a new generation of heroes. At class level 3 as a College of Valor Bard, you also get bonus proficiencies, but this time you gain proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. You can now deck your bard out with a much wider and more powerful variety of combat stuff. Also at level 3 you get Combat Inspiration, which is where a creature that has a Bardic Inspiration die from you can roll that die and now add the number rolled to a weapon damage roll just made. Before, you could not use the Bardic Inspiration die for a weapon damage roll, it was only for an attack roll, saving throw, and ability check. Alternatively, this creature can use its reaction to roll the Bardic Inspiration die and add the number rolled to its armor class against that attack. Combat Inspiration gives your allies new ways to use their Bardic Inspiration dice, more combat-focused ways. And lastly, at level 6 as a College of Valor Bard, you will get Extra Attack, which allows you to attack twice instead of once in one turn when you take the attack action on your turn. This type of Bard encourages you to be using your weapons more. So those are the 2 confirmed subclasses for the Bard. Now let's go over the remaining class features that you will gain on your journey to level 10. At class level 3, along with getting to choose your Bard's College, you also get Expertise, which lets you choose 2 skill proficiencies that you want your proficiency bonus to be doubled in when making an ability check involving either of those 2 that you chose. You basically become a beast at those skills. Good luck to anyone or anything trying to stop you from succeeding. At class level 4, you get the Ability Score Improvement, which is where you can add 2 ability score points to whichever ability or abilities that you want. If you would rather choose a feat for your Bard, you can do that instead of gaining the Ability Score Improvement. At class level 5, your Bardic Inspiration die will increase to a D8, making it even more helpful, or painful, I guess, depending on how you use it. You will also get Font of Inspiration at level 5, which will let you regain all of your expended uses of Bardic Inspiration when you finish a short rest now. Before level 5, you regained your Bardic Inspiration only from a long rest, but now you get it back much faster and easier. This may be modified in the game for a short rest in Baldur's Gate 3, as any time in between combat encounters, they might have to nerf this a little. At class level 6, you gain Counter Charm. This will let you use your music notes or words of power to disrupt mind-influencing effects. You and any friendly creatures within 30 feet will have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. Counter Charm is used as an action and will be a performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. This can be really useful, especially if you understand your opponents and have an idea as to what they might try on you and your party members. At class level 8, you will get another ability score improvement or choice of feat if you so choose. Class level 9, your Song of Rest die will increase to a D10. If you don't remember, that was the feature that helped heal you and your allies during a short rest. And lastly, at class level 10, there's 3 things that are going on. Your Bardic Inspiration will further increase to a D10 now. You also gain Expertise and 2 more skill proficiencies. It's actually unbelievable how good the Bard is at so many skills. And you will also gain Magical Secrets. Magical Secrets will let you choose 2 spells from any class, and the spells you choose will count as Bard spells, for they are included in the number in the spells known column of the Bard table. Fireball is commonly chosen as one of the spells, for it's a great area of effect spell to help with damage as well as other things. So that's it for the Bard, a really great class in almost every situation. On top of being so good at so many skills, you also have a wide variety of spells you can be casting. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's a huge help to my videos. I do all sorts of content on this channel, ranging from comedy videos to live streams to game reviews to game tutorials and more, and I would love to see some of you guys on a future video. More class guides coming soon, and all the Baldur's Gate 3 news that you need will be right here on this channel. Until next time.